Professor Umbridge is back because there's some most disappointing book drama.
Book drama!
You know it's a great way to destroy all sympathy for your movement? Bully people. In certain circles, J.K. Rowling is a controversial figure, and the latest drama to flare up has to do with Britain's most remote pub not being able to have a nice fun party because a bunch of cry-bullies ruined it for everyone. The Old Forge on the west coast of Scotland is a famous pub. You can only get to it on foot or on a boat. This atmospheric setting in Scotland makes it perfect for a Harry Potter party. And that's just what the pub was going to do on Halloween. Until a few trans activists lost their minds and decided that they couldn't stand the idea of people enjoying something that they love. With characteristic British understatement, the pub said that their staff were subjected to inappropriate grief. Translating that into American terms, it meant that they were relentlessly hounded, threatened, called names, and just generally had their lives turned upside down until they just decided that this fun night couldn't go on at all. Everyone loses in this situation. First, the people who wanted to have a fun evening enjoying a book series that they really like, they don't get to have their fun. Second, the staff at this pub were just trying to do their jobs and they didn't deserve to be mistreated. I even think the trans activists who did this lose because they're going to damage any broader sympathy people might have for the movement as a whole because they acted like cry-bullies. I don't need to get into why J.K. Rowling is considered controversial in some circles because that doesn't even have anything to do with this situation. Inevitably in life, some people are going to like things that you don't like. People will also disagree about how to handle situations when something's controversial. You can dislike J.K. Rowling personally. You can dislike her views. And you can also still want to enjoy her books. But there is a subset of people who think, no, I don't like J.K. Rowling. I don't like her views. Therefore, I don't like her books. And nobody else is allowed to either. Sorry, you don't get to tell people what to like or tell them what kind of fun to have, especially when the views involved are legal, are protected by law, and are a difference of opinion. It's obviously a strong difference of opinion, but that's not the point. She has her views, you have yours. Why do you get to be the one who tells other people how they're supposed to have fun and what books they're allowed to like? I feel badly for the decent, ordinary people in the rainbow flag community because a lot of them are really fed up with the fact that there's this tiny group of activists that take it on themselves to speak for the opinions of the entire community. The majority of the population is over this nonsense, and you could see that this week when actress Keira Knightley was asked about her participation in a new audiobook recording of the Harry Potter series, in which she'll play Professor Umbridge. And she just kind of laughed it off, saying, no, I wasn't really aware of the controversy, and we're all just going to have to learn to get along.
Saw you're voicing Professor Umbridge in the new Harry Potter audiobooks. I was wondering, are you aware that some fans are calling for a boycott, given J.K. Rowling's ongoing campaign against trans people?
I was not aware of that, no. I'm very sorry. I think we're all living in a period of time right now where we're all going to have to figure out how to live together, aren't we?
I thought that was a great way to handle it. She's an actress. She's here to do a job. She's going to do the job well. She's going to get paid. The end. The legally protected political views of the author of the book and the way other people feel about those political views are not going to factor into her decision to take what is a very, very good gig. If you don't like that, that's okay. You're allowed to disapprove of someone taking a job, but you're not allowed to bully, threaten, or harass someone out of their job. You don't have to listen to Keira Knightley's audio recording of Professor Umbridge. You don't have to give your money to any Harry Potter themed events. But I really, really think that you should think about what kind of person you are if you want to bully, harass, and intimidate people out of enjoying a book just because you think everyone needs to do what you want them to do. I keep hoping that stories like this will stop popping up and that as a society we can all put on our big girl pants and just learn to deal with it when someone feels differently from us, even if those feelings are deeply held. If you can only get people to do what you want through bullying, harassment, and intimidation, all you're proving is that you don't have a decent argument for your side at all. These temper tantrums are even more embarrassing when you contrast them with the cool, controlled, elegant wit of J.K. Rowling, who frequently takes on her critics directly on X. Anyone will be on the back foot if they try to get involved in a war of words with one of the greatest writers the English language has ever known. But being at a rhetorical disadvantage doesn't make it a good tactical decision to switch to temper tantrums. Most of the Rainbow Flag crew is over this kind of stuff. The general population is definitely over this kind of stuff. I don't think the hardcore activists can be appealed to change their mind or come to their senses, but I do think they'll find that their ranks continue to shrink as they alienate people by just being massive jerks. You're allowed to have whatever feelings you want to about Harry Potter and the author who created the books. But in the words of the dude,
well, that's just like your opinion, man.